Here we go.
Do it.
Okay, cool.
Here we go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Coffin Talkin', where we unravel the mysteries, embrace the peculiar, and find humor in the unconventional world of funerals and death. I'm Holly, and those sniffles are coming from Frank.
Hello, Holly.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
What have you been up to?
Well, I'm anticipating with much dread the upcoming activity on Monday. Remember, the tooth gets extracted.
Yes.
So I'm not very excited about that at all. However, my brother, who is the dentist, who and I don't know.
Okay, no. Just to clarify, he did not become a dentist.
That's correct. But and for those that he has passed away, and so and so you coffiners may not know that, but he has passed away, and I think he might be looking on from a different perspective down on me, saying, "I knew that tooth was due to come out."
Yep. In the very beginning, he thought, I was trying to tell you. I was trying to get it out.
That's a bad tooth, Frank. Get it out.
It was bad from the beginning.
Oh, man. Anyway, so let's see. That's what I have coming up next week. I'm not looking forward to it at all. Actually, I'll probably have dreams tonight and tomorrow.
Oh, bad dreams.
Bad
do you
dreams.
Get anxious about the dentist, or
What?
is it just? Do you get anxious about the dentist, or is it?
I get so anxious. I mean, I can actually feel my heart rate increase. I don't know what it is with the dentist, but I just cannot. I just don't even like the thought of going.
Yeah. Again, we'll pan back over to the brother that is looking down at you. You have nothing to say of why.
Hey, coffiners, just so you know, I believe in that. I believe that does happen and can happen. So thanks a lot, Dov. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What about you, Holly? What's been going on with you?
Nothing. This week was busy. It was
cool.
Yes, busy with school, busy with work. And I don't know, not very much going on. Oh, I took my first stab today at making our own freezer jam.
Wow. So something's congealing now?
Yes.
All right. Have you tried tasting it at all? Have you looked in on it to see how it's doing?
I have not. It looks very good. It looks bright red, and Nelson only licked it like 4 times while I was making it. So
was there a little paw print? Did you put a paw print in it?
No, I did not. Didn't want to channel that.
You have a brother. I have a son who, when he's baking a specific item, he will sit and stare at it through the window of the oven, making sure that it's cooking right.
Seriously?
Oh, yes. Orange rolls.
Oh,
yep.
Of course. Oh my gosh. Every Thanksgiving, Mom, are you making orange rolls? Even if he's not coming down for Thanksgiving, Mom, can you send me orange rolls?
No, but he makes his own now.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's fairly good. His wife says they're wonderful. So he's taken that on. So that is good.
That is good. Yeah. It's because he's watching them every minute of the process.
And it's his wife likes to send us photos of that process, not of the rolls being cooked,
course not,
but of our son, your brother, looking through the mirror, looking through the window in the oven door,
just waiting, patiently waiting. Probably not so patiently waiting. Oh,
hey, speaking of oven doors, before we get into the story side of it, I want you to. Do you remember you had been to the crematory a number of times, right?
Yes.
Okay. So one of the times our youngest son came into the mortuary or the crematory at one point, and from his angle, you could just look up through the window or the view window, and you could see flame coming down from the ceiling of the retort itself. And so I looked at him and I said, "So what do you see?" And he said, "Flame." And I said, "What? That's right. And what is flame?" And he said, "Fire." And I said, "What does that remind you of?" And you know what his response was?
What?
Burger King.
Burger King.
Yeah. Flame broiled.
Burger
You know
King.
those commercials that they were playing all the time, flame broiled
Oh
burger.
yeah.
And so when he in the flame, and we can tell you that was Scott. He's in our
Yeah.
podcast every once in a while, but that was Scott. And so yeah, whenever I always think of that when I see Burger King, I think, well, Scott thought that was incriminatory.
Don't know what he was thinking. Oh man. So what was that, like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah. Man, he shot up fast.
Yeah.
He's so
Crazy.
tall now. It's
Oh my
crazy.
gosh.
Oh, wow. All right. Anyway, so let's see what else happened for me this week. We've had a lot of death certificates that have had to be amended, and I just don't like that process. And so my mind has been focused, and I get very stressed with not only for the dentist, but I also get stressed when it comes to having to do amendments on death certificates, because you think you have it all done, and then the county or the state will email you back saying, hey, we still need this, we need this. And then you keep bothering the family, and it's just not a good thing.
You have to go through the family every single time?
Well, if they they have to sign a letter stating they want the particular changes to be made to the death certificate. So if I have forgotten one, then I have to go back to them and say, oh, we didn't add this on there. Can you come back in and sign something different? And yeah, it gets very annoying, actually, for me, and kind of stressful for me, only because you try and do the best you can for families, and that's why we have them check and recheck and check again.
Right.
And even though they sign off on it, you still find they still call back with errors. I think from here, this point on, we'll just go ahead and have them, once they sign it, any changes that are made after it's officially registered will now be their responsibility.
Yeah.
To make.
That's fair.
I mean, that's why they're signing it, right? So
they're checking off on it.
Yeah. So that's kind of I think the consensus that Lisa and I have come to. So anyway.
So just you yourself.
That's right. Yeah. Because thank you for bringing up the figment of the imagination. So
yeah, of course.
Yeah. I hope that we didn't lose that cough in our listener when we keep the one that submitted the question.
Oh yeah. When is Lisa gonna come on? Sorry to break.
Maybe she may surprise us one day. She may just show up. It's like, whoa,
wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah. Are you hearing a voice like I am, Holly? Because like,
who is that?
What is that? Anyway, okay. So yeah, that was my week in general, and I've still got a lot of amendments still I have to make this next week, so I'm not looking forward to that either.
Oh. I wasn't going to share this, but I mean, I might as well. So I have this massive zit on my forehead that has been here, and I just wanted to promote the Mighty Patch because it is amazing. And no, we're not sponsored, but if you're listening, if you're from Mighty Patch and you're listening and you want to sponsor us after this, then feel free. But man, this volcano, I put that little sticker on it, and in the morning it sucked out like a vacuum or a plunger.
Wow.
Sucked out all the gross that was living in there, and now it's going down. It's amazing.
Does it feel better now to the touch?
It's not as
tender.
Hurt.
Cool.
Oh man, that was the first time I've ever used one of those, and it was life-changing. Now I'm kind of excited for when I have zits, so I get to use those.
In fact, Dad, that's what you see on my face now is a bunch of lotion, hoping to bring dirt to the pore.
Bring them out
to the top of the pore. Yeah,
I'm gonna rub some grease on my face. Yeah,
that's funny.
Oh man!
Well, thank you for sharing that, Holly.
That was definitely an overshare. It's called the Mighty Patch.
Mighty Patch. I've never heard of it.
They're on Amazon. It's only like $4. It's really cheap.
Wow.
But anyways.
Well, now you and 12 others now have heard of the Mighty Patch.
Yep, absolutely. And you heard us right. We're up to 12.
You heard us right. We're up to 12.
So
sorry, Ray.
Exciting. But anyways, we digress. I think for our Coffner's sake, let's just go ahead and let's be frank.
Thanks, Holly. So today I want you to think about it for a minute. Do you remember or do you know what your great grandmother's favorite pastime was?
My great grandma.
Yeah,
Which one?
not your mom's mom, your
Yours?
mom's mom.
Eating butter, right?
No, that was grandma.
Was that grandma?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Although, I don't know. Belva may have liked butter. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure she just ate it with a spoon.
I know.
Well, that's the only story that I retained, so no.
No, it's garage sales. Don't you ever remember
Oh,
mom
really?
saying, "Oh, I'd love to go to garage sales with grandma, her grandmother,
Oh
your
my
great grandmother,
god.
because she just loved to see what kind of deals she could find, and then she tried to haggle with people and trying
Yeah.
to get them to talk down just a little bit about their what it is they're trying to sell. Plus, she got a lot of history on different products and homemade products, so
Oh, yeah.
very interesting to see how that works out. So today's story revolves around sales,
Sales.
sales, and not funeral sales,
Uh-oh.
just so you know. So let me introduce the young man by simply stating that he staggered in
Oh,
to the
gotta love it.
mortuary. Staggered into the mortuary one calm morning, beautiful sunny day,
Uh-huh.
and he had made the announcement that his mother had passed away, and
Okay.
and he wanted us to take care of her funeral. So
Sure.
I sat down and spoke with him. After about an hour, we were finally getting to the point where I could get some information regarding his mother. That kind of tells you a
Oh.
little bit about the type of individual that I was sitting with and dealing with. So he had what I thought was a water bottle, and just shy of the size of yours, Holly.
Oh, no.
And
Gallon.
no, no. It was probably half a gallon. And so, but every once in a while, he would just stop and take a drink. And for those of you that don't know, and maybe you've heard it on another I don't have a sense of smell.
Oh,
And
no.
so,
So you would have been able to smell this.
I think so, because I later found out that it was alcohol that was in this bottle.
Oh.
It wasn't water.
Hence the
And so,
staggering.
yeah. And so we went on ahead and decided what it was he wanted to do in the way of a funeral itself. And he actually planned one out that was fairly nice, actually, in my
Mhm.
mind, simple yet adequate. And
Okay.
so one of the main points of that he wanted us to do for him was to find a minister that could go ahead and talk about his mother. Okay, I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent here, because when you get ministers, you hire them in. This is the extent of what they know about the individual that's passed away. What's the name of the next of kin? Okay, you can call
Mhm.
the son, you call the son, and you get whatever information you can, and then that's all you get.
Right.
They don't know the individual. That's why I don't mind hiring in ministers, but it is so much better if the family already has one that they've worked with in the past and would like to continue to use. Be that
Right.
knew the lady, the man, the son, the daughter, whoever. It's
Yeah.
just so much better because it's so much more personal.
Yeah.
So the the minister was contacted. He wanted to speak with the son, so I gave him his number as well. And flowers were ordered. Everything was set for the service to the actual service. I think it was a Friday. So the service approached the individual. Everybody was coming in for the services. I thought she looked very nice. He thought she looked very nice. Again, on the day of the viewing, he staggered in.
Oh,
On the day of
no.
the viewing and the service, he staggered in, and it was obvious that he had probably a pretty bad drinking problem.
Yeah.
And no matter, and you have to understand that when I tell you the rest of the story. But the service began. They he wanted me to have someone come in and sing Amazing Grace, and so they were there. They sang Amazing Grace, and then the minister had gotten up, and he'd gotten maybe probably 10 minutes into the sermon,
Uh-huh.
into the service portion, and this young man who was in the front row stood up.
Oh.
Yeah, he just stood up and he made this, and I'm not going to paraphrase it. I'm just going to say it. Yeah, that's all fine and good, but you didn't know my mother. I need you to step down. I want you to sit down. The service is over." And then he turned around and he looked at the congregation. He goes, "I just want you to know that while we've been sitting here, I have made the arrangements to have my mom's belongings brought to the parking lot."
Oh my.
And
You're kidding me.
my mom's belongings brought to the parking lot. And so on the far side of the parking lot, there's jewelry that's for sale, her clothing, some furniture, some little knickknacks. So once you feel comfortable, would you mind stepping outside and just seeing if there's something there that you could buy to help me offset the cost of
You're
this funeral?
kidding me.
No. So the minister sat down and he went through and we had talked about on previous episodes where you don't want to bury jewelry. Most of the times family will want the jewelry back. So before we closed the casket, he walked up and he said, "She had a nice ring on. Won't be needing that." And
Oh my gosh. Did
won't
you
be
put it
needing
on the
this.
jewelry table?
What's that?
Did he put it on the jewelry table to sell it?
But he did call people out in the congregation. He said, "Oh yeah, Gladys, Lavina, whatever, Alice,
Uh-huh.
whatever names he was calling people. I do have some items that I've set aside just specifically for you because that's what my mom wanted you to have.
You do have to pay a small price, but
If you want to know where it's located, well, I can sell you a map."
uh-huh. Good luck.
The Stars homes of the Stars.
Yeah.
Oh my word. And so anyway, went on ahead and we had and they must have been aware, the individuals that are aware of how this family acts regarding certain circumstances or situations, because I didn't see any look of surprise at all.
You're
I mean,
kidding.
I was more surprised than the people that he was actually addressing.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so he said that but I didn't know this. He said, "Frank, who helped me through the services, he's going to take an inventory of what you want to purchase. We're going to take your name and number. If you don't have the money today, that's fine. We'll contact you in the next couple of days."
So you are now his sales associate.
I'm his secretary.
His secretary.
So I hurried and I grabbed an 8.5 by 11 sheet of pad of paper, and I started walking out there. I said, "I don't really know what you want me to do. I'll just keep tabs on what people are taking." I said, "Okay, whatever."
Oh my god.
And so anyway, if the service ended at 12:30, people were in the parking lot till 5.
Are
And
you
so,
serious?
yeah. And so they made a day of it. And even people that were just driving by would come by. And it was interesting because they would say, "How often do you have garage sales like this? Or are these items from people that you've handled services for in the past?"
Oh my gosh, that's so bad.
It is bad. And that's
That
what I
would
was
be
thinking.
horrible.
And that's what I was thinking and I didn't really think much about it because it was what he wanted to do. But as soon as someone had made that comment to me, I thought, "Oh my gosh, this is not
Oh
looking good at all for the
no.
mortuary."
Yeah.
So anyway, but it went on and he probably made $30,000.
$30,000?
3,000.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 3,000.
What rings was he selling?
Well, I know one of them, the guy ingested, from a previous.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, I'm kidding you. No, you know what? It might have been. It might have been close to 30,000. Now
What?
that I think about it, it might have been. And so, anyway, it was an enormous amount of money. So anyway,
Mhm.
he came in. So it couldn't have been 3,000. It had to be more than that. I just remembered thinking, really, you make that much money off of a garage sale? So, but anyway, people were coming in off the street, walking down the street, would just come in, and it's like a rummage sale right there in the parking lot of
Yeah.
the funeral home, in the parking lot of the funeral home.
Oh my
And
god.
so, once that was over, he came in and he still had his jug with him, right?
Uh-huh. Of course.
Yeah. And he said, "Well, I'll see you in a couple of days and you'll just have the tally for me. Is that okay, Frank?" And I said, "Yeah, it's fine." So collected
Wait,
all the
wait, wait.
money.
The
Mhm.
tally of what he owes
Of,
you or of
no,
what the other
of what
people
was
owe him?
of what was sold.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And I just thought, well, I hope I've kept good records because people were going all the time. I
Right.
don't know, it's always there. So about 4 days later, he comes in. He gets the money that he had garnered, or that he actually raised at that garage sale, rummage sale, pays us, and then what was interesting with what he did then is he asked me to call him a taxi.
What?
Yeah, they didn't have Ubers or anything like that. And so he asked me to call him a taxi. So I called him a taxi, and he just sat in our front lobby area on the couch, just drinking. And then he just started to weep and bawl.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And he said, I can't believe she's gone. And I said, your mother? No, Frank, my cat died this morning.
Are you serious?
Yes. And he was crying over the cat.
Oh my gosh.
At first, I thought he was kidding me.
I
And
was
then he
about
said,
to have some sympathy for this man. Nope, that's gone.
okay.
You're kidding me.
So anyway, I had a nice conversation, and the taxi, we had talked about 20 minutes, and the taxi still hadn't arrived.
Oh
And he
my
said, don't worry, I'll just go ahead and walk home. I said, where do you live? And he told me, and it was about 4.5 miles away from where the mortuary
holy
was
cow.
located. And he was drunk. And so I said, you know what? I would feel better if you'd let me take you home. And he said, no, you don't need to do that. I'm going to go ahead and walk. It'll be good for me. So he left. About 35 minutes later, I hear sirens swinging by our mortuary.
You're kidding me.
No. And so going the direction in which he was walking, and I thought, oh, please don't tell me he got hit, because it's a busy road.
Right.
And so I just walked up, because we had a big, long, circular drive in front of the mortuary. So I walked up to where the busy road was, and I just looked down, and it was obviously a pedestrian. There was no car that I could see,
Right.
but there was someone lying on the road. And so the ambulance showed up, and they took him to the hospital, and one of the cop cars came back and said he had just left this facility. And I
Oh
looked
my
at him and I
gosh, it was
said,
him.
it was him. And I said, did he die? No, no. He took a lot of damage from being hit, but he just wanted us to let you know that he had been taken to the hospital. And I said, and he said, are you Frank? And that, it's not always a good thing to have a cop come into your building and ask for you specifically.
Yeah, no.
So anyway, when he asked that question, I said, yes, I'm Frank. And he goes, well, this guy was just hit down the street, and he wanted you to know that he was being taken to the hospital. I said, well, which hospital? And so he gave me the name, and he looked at me, the cop looked at me, and he goes, are you aware that he was drunk? And now I'm thinking in my mind, what are you getting close to, or are you going to blame me for him getting hit because I let him leave the facility drunk?
Not my fault. I
And
called him a taxi. He insisted that he was going to walk.
yeah, well, I told him that, I was aware he was drunk, and that's why we called him a taxi, but he got impatient and left without the taxi being here. So I guess with him knowing the full story, and I don't know what they would do in today's society, but they just kind of said, okay, well, that makes sense then. But, in today's society, I would just wonder if I might have been arrested because or sued because we know he was drunk, and yet we let him go out into the public. So anyway, I made a point to go over into the hospital and see him.
Yeah.
And when I saw him, I walked into the room, I called him by name. He looked at me and he goes, who are you?
What?
Yeah. And so I just looked at him and I said, well, I handle the services for your mother. Did my mom pass away?
Are you kidding me?
No. And so I looked at him and I said, you don't remember anything that's happened? And he goes, no. And I don't think my mother's passed away. I've been waiting for her to come visit me, but she hasn't come in. And I know she hasn't. I said, if I gave you your mother's name, would you believe that she's passed away? So I gave him his mother's name, and he goes, are you kidding me? And I said, yeah. And the day you got hit, you told me your cat died. What? My cat's
My cat
dead?
said too.
Oh my gosh. It was almost like everything was coming down on him and he didn't even know. I
What?
was totally blown away. Yeah. And when I talked to the hospital, I said, is he suffering from amnesia? And he goes, well, it could be. He was pretty drunk when he came in. So, and I said, listen, I've been working with this guy for the past 2 weeks. I've never seen him sober.
Yeah, he's been drunk the past 2
Yeah.
weeks.
And so I said, if he was drunk the last 2 weeks and he's finally sober now, maybe that's his
He
mind
just
just blocking
didn't.
everything out.
Yeah.
And so I didn't even want to mention to them the things that he had sold.
Oh my gosh, no. Your mother is dead, but you probably are able to pay your hospital bills if that's any consolation.
Yeah, your mother is dead, but hold on, wait up just a second, because your dad is dead as well.
Your cat's also dead, and all of your mother's belongings are gone. I do have that sheet for you right now if you want it. Oh my god.
So anyway, and then the sad part is that I worked at that facility for about another I don't know, maybe 3 years. And when he got better, he would come in and visit with me. And
Okay.
he would still be drunk after he got out of the hospital. He would still be drunk. But he would still come in and visit me, and then all of a sudden the visits just stopped.
Oh no.
So I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he passed away, and if he died as an indigent, meaning that there was no family to take care of him because he was the only child.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he just died and no one knew what to do with him, and so they just put him in through the state. I don't know how that works, I know how that works. I just don't know what happened to him and why the visits would all of a sudden stop coming when he was so frequent visiting with me.
Well, maybe he finally sobered up for good and just forgot that you existed.
Oh my gosh, Holly, that's a great end of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, way to go, Holly. High five. Boop. Yeah, I like that ending. I didn't think about
It kind of makes it a little nicer.
Yeah, he's sober.
He's sober now. He's out there. He's sober. He got another cat.
Hold it. Didn't I have a car?
What's going on here?
So anyway, that's that story regarding garage sales, but that's the first time I'd ever, and the only time that I've ever had a person actually sell their mother's belongings or the deceased belongings in the parking lot
I would hope
of the funeral home after making an announcement and shutting down the priest or the minister.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You said
All right,
you're done. Sit down.
You didn't even know her. Please sit down.
Sit down.
I got a real announcement to make.
And this is the guy that he chose, right?
No, he asked us to hire him.
Oh my gosh.
Remember I told you that? Yeah, he asked us to hire him, and then
that's
I guess he got to the point where he just couldn't handle it anymore.
What in the heck?
We're done here.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. But anyway, some of the other comments, that were going on in the congregation. Well, yeah, I expected that from him because that's just the type of person he is, meaning the son.
Yeah.
That he would take charge and just go ahead, and once he's done, once his limit has been reached with attention, it's done. It's over. Done. We got to move on to something else. So
like a garage sale.
Yeah. Just step outside.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you'll have fun. I'm sure everyone can find something they can use.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it was anyway, that was definitely one for the books or the book.
Or the book.
Yeah, and so that's why it has been included in this little episode here. I'm looking forward to the next couple of them because they will be very interesting for the listeners to hear regards to afterlife and just weird experiences that have been taking place that I think that right now is a good time to express it and experience and let people know about what's happening.
Yeah.
So any comments on that at all, Holly?
That was such a roller coaster. I honestly don't know what to make of that.
Oh my gosh.
This poor man This
Oh,
drunkard comes off the street, plan my mother's funeral, please. Gets to the funeral. Okay, let's stop having the funeral. I really called you all here for the garage sale.
that's, that's kind of what it sounded like too. I do appreciate you being here, but
Yeah,
there are some things that I'm trying to sell. Could we go to that now?
yeah. Makes a small fortune at that.
Oh
Comes
my
back to visit
gosh.
you to get the
Mm,
list of
mm.
who owes him what.
Yeah. And collect what money has been paid.
Of course.
Yeah.
Find
So,
out his cat died.
mhm.
Walks home, drunk, gets hit by a car, wakes up in the hospital, amnesia.
Mm. Who are you?
Or, yeah, who are you? My mom's dead? My cat's dead? What
Mhm.
in the heck?
Yeah, it's very interesting. And hopefully, none of you will ever experience a funeral like that because I'll tell you, it was something totally, you could not have guessed what was going to happen
No.
next.
Oh
Not
my
at all.
gosh. And going back to our episode, A Bad Case of Indigestion,
Yes.
um, if I was that mother, I would be haunting his cupboards for the rest of his life. You sold all my things at my funeral?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, I have a feeling that whatever wasn't sold, he just loaded up and took to the Goodwill or
Ugh,
whatever. And most people, most people would have, if they'd have just waited and followed the truck to the Goodwill store, they could have had
oh,
a,
they could have
probably
got
a
it
better
for
deal
free.
on
Uh-huh. Oh my gosh.
it. So anyway, I
Yeah,
thought that was very interesting with regards to this young man and how he chose to handle his mother's funeral.
honor his mother. Can you even say that?
No, how
No, I don't
he
think
chose.
so.
Oh, did I say honor? Yeah, I guess he did. Yeah, it's common to say honor, Holly. Come on.
Could have been common in this case. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think he deserves to say that he honors his mother.
Oh
Oh
man.
wow! But I mean, it sounds like he wasn't in his right mind at all, ever.
Yeah,
At
probably
least
not.
during the funeral.
Yeah. I will say this though, we never heard back from him to change the death certificate.
There you go. At least there's that.
So I would say that he was at least cognizant of what information he was giving us so that he believed that it was right. And so even as sober,
Oh
well,
my
that's gotta
god.
be right.
Yeah, but also he probably just forgot.
Probably.
Oh man.
No, yeah, I feel bad about the way things turned out for him, but to have someone who's totally, I mean, we had been working close together for close to 2 weeks.
Right. And
And
then
then
just
for
say,
him to
"Who
just,
are
who are
you?"
you? Who are you? Mm,
What?
wow. I'm
You
glad I
gave
let
the policeman my name
Yeah. Of course,
specifically.
he was drunk at that
Yeah, of
point.
course, but
Yeah, so I'm just thinking, well, I'm glad I made that kind of impression on him.
yeah, drunk
Mm.
and just hit by a car. Who do I need to tell? Frank.
Yeah. Well, that was he got impressed
He did get impressed.
from the car.
Ooh.
Oh, I don't even. I think he broke an arm. I think that was all the damage he had from that accident,
Oh my
truthfully.
god.
Besides the maybe short-term amnesia.
Amnesia.
Yeah, maybe it was
Oh,
long-term. I don't know. It's funny how the brain will protect the human body from, I mean, all sorts of ailments. When people fall, if you fall, you black out, you don't remember a thing, right?
mhm.
It's very interesting how the brain will take over your physical.
Or even with your dentist appointment, you had such
Yeah,
a horrible experience as a child, and your brain's saying, "Don't go back there.
yeah, yeah.
What are you thinking?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Live with the pain, Frank. You can do it.
Yeah.
It'll just be our secret. We'll just
Just a
keep calling
flesh
you a
wound.
baby. You're the baby. You're a
Yeah.
baby. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I always wonder what happened to that guy.
Yeah.
Even though he never came back in after probably a good month visiting me at least once, maybe twice a week, and then all of a sudden just nothing. So
Yeah, we'll just say that he sobered up.
that's right, and probably forgot where he was visiting.
Yeah.
That's it, Holly.
Couldn't find his way
Thank you.
back
That
being
makes me feel
sober.
so much better.
Right.
Oh yes. Okay.
Uh,
So have you got anything else you want to mention regarding that episode?
Honestly, I don't.
Or this
I
episode?
really don't know even what to say.
It is a different. It's different, huh?
That
It's
was such a roller coaster.
such a roller coaster.
I was feeling bad for him when he broke down crying. It's like,
Oh my
okay,
God.
he was just projecting. No, he was
Remember
crying
that?
over his
Remember
cat.
that episode on Seinfeld
Which
where
one?
where Jerry's
Oh,
dating
yes.
a girl and she wouldn't cry about, oh, my grandmother passed away.
My
Oh,
grandmother
okay,
passed.
well, whatever. And then whatever else happens, like a major event in the family, or she loses a role or something like that, but she cries over a dropped hot dog.
Yeah. My hot dog.
I dropped my hot dog.
I
What?
dropped my hot dog. Oh my gosh.
You're crying over a hot dog?
Hangs up the phone. Yeah, my grandmother just died.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, that's true. That made me
was him.
remind me of him. So,
Oh my gosh.
oh, funny
Wow.
people. Anyway,
People.
yeah,
Wouldn't have these stories without him. So
I
thank
know it's
goodness
true.
for
Yeah.
people.
So anyway,
Yeah.
anything else on that one at all, Holly?
No, let's just close it there because honestly, I don't know what to say. I don't think anything I could say would add to that story. It had everything.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what your definition of everything is, but that didn't have everything.
A cat was mentioned.
Oh.
That's basically it now.
I stopped at cat.
Where is Nelson?
Where is Nelson? Oh, that's funny.
Oh my gosh.
I couldn't
But
hear anything else you said, Dad, because you said cat.
you said cat. I missed the entire rest of the story. Jeez.
Oh.
Oh man. Well, thanks for hanging in with us this episode, everyone. And be sure to like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your mothers, tell your cats about this podcast, and follow us on Instagram at Coffin Talkin', and email us if you have any questions or if you have any crazy stories like this at letsbefrank@coffintalkin.com, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, Coffiners.
Bye.